Okay, violins. We're going to start on the G string. We're going to work our way from the lowest string to the highest string. So if this were your violin, as you were looking at it, we're going to go from this side to that side. From my point of view, it's what's closest to me to what's farthest away. So my G string is what's closest to my face in this case. It's imagining that it's in front of you. So we got to be thinking this pattern. Okay, we got space here for a note and space there for a note. Remember, that's where our missing half steps are. But there's a half step in between there. And for the G string, this is going to be our A, B, C, and D. We are going to use our fourth finger in this. We got to get used to using it at some point, and might as well do it now. Get a part of our repertoire. So as you're going through your G string notes, G, A, B, C, D, G, A, B, C, D, and then you can do it backwards, D, C, B, A, G. Both directions is very, very useful to do. I have some other examples or other exercises for you to do at the end. The D string is going to be different. The D string is going to have the half step in between 1 and 2. And then there's a whole step and a whole step there. So on this D string, this magical D string, D, E, F, G, A. Now, D string, you're used to playing F sharp, so you're used to having that up there. But we're going to be doing only natural notes for right now. Okay? D, E, F, G, A, or backwards, A, G, F, E, D. A string, however, is exactly the same pattern as what you did on the D string. So A is open, A, B, C, we're using C natural, so it's a low 2, D, E. A, B, C, D, E, or backwards, E, D, C, B, A. So again, touching, whole, and whole. Okay? E string is different. You're on this far side here. Now you're going to have 4 evenly spaced, we've got to have holes in between them, 4 evenly spaced fingers. But the catch is they'll have to be just a little bit lower. So you kind of move your hand up a little bit. Just over top of this, I have a little bone makes a bump there. I imagine you have something similar. Then we've got to move it up there. We're going to pretend that's our low position. But nothing touches. Why? Because the half step is between the E and the F. Okay? Remember we talked about that. Or I did anyway. You listened, which was nice of you. So E, F, G, A, B, E, F, G, A, B, and then going backwards, B, A, G, F, E. Okay? So you're going to practice those going back and forth, back and forth. Do them at whatever speed is comfortable for you. Okay? It's not a race. You want to get used to this finger is this note. Okay? Now, here are the exercises that I'd like you to do for violin. What we're doing right now is adding, I'll just use E string as an example. We're adding 1 finger at a time and then coming back up. That's fine, okay? That's sort of add and subtract fingers. We also need to be able to do this 1 finger at a time. So E, F, G, A, B. Okay, you can do it singly like that, individually like that. And we have some other little combinations we can do. One's called broken thirds, which means that you sort of skip 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing. So it goes like this. Open, 2, 1, 3, 2, 4. So it's like you're kind of alternating notes. Let me do that with letter names. It makes it a little easier. E, G, F, A, G, B. And then you can come back down from the B, G, A, F, G, E. Okay? So you can see at the bottom of the screen, I'm doing this nice and slowly so that we can add them as we go. Okay? And it'll be the same thing on the other strings. You know, alternating. A, sorry, here's my A string. A, C, B, D. Now notice I have to remember where my C is. It's not here. It's not here. It's back here with this guy. Okay? I want to build that pattern into my repertoire. Then C, E, and then coming backwards from that. Okay, so I'm going to put a few patterns of broken thirds on the next screen, and you can work through those. The last one I call a cascade. So you go from open to nothing, or I'm sorry, open is nothing, open to everything. So E, B, A, G, F. So it's just, you know, starting with like nothing to everything and then coming back down. This one's a little simpler. The broken third ones is probably the hardest one. Okay, violas. You're actually going to go watch the violin one in a minute, but you have just a couple of different things because you have different strings than they do. But it's almost pretty much the same kinds of fingerings where things happen. So come back to me after you have seen the violin one, and I'll explain what those differences are. Okay, so you're back. I'm assuming that you saw the patterns that I was showing the violins. So the difference that you have, having the C string, is actually a little simpler for you. You'll be happy to know that. That on your C string, your pattern is going to be like it is for the G string. You actually have two strings that have the same pattern of this, right? C string and G string have the same pattern. C, D, E, F. Remember, E and F are half steps, so they're touching G. Now, I already talked about the G string with the violins. You already watched that. When you come over to the D string and you change to this pattern, like the violins did, you have the top two strings have the same pattern also. So two strings having this pattern, two strings having this pattern. Okay, so let me just show you one more time. C string is like this, C, D, E, F, G. G string, G, A, B, C, D. A string, A, B, C, D, E. And A string. I'm sorry, D string, D, E, F, G, A. And A string, A, B, C, D, E. Okay? Now, I'm putting my half steps real close together. Technically on viola, they don't have to be quite as close together as they are in violin. But quite often when you have the half steps, with the beauty of the string instruments, you can kind of manipulate them a little bit. And it actually makes things sound a little bit more interesting. So we do try to keep them together a little bit more. But the whole steps are slightly wider because you have a slightly bigger instrument. Okay, and some of you have larger violas than others. And so that's an adjustment that you have to make with tuning. But the half steps we try to keep pretty close together. Okay, so your exercises are going to be on the next screen.